Okay, I want to point out I don't claim any copyright for the content shown in this article. Sorry about that. And this is pretty much to give people more of an educational basis on this situation because I'm starting to see a trend that a lot of people aren't familiar as to why people wear like face masks or respirators. So let's dive right in. And I want to show this so people be able to still be able to protect themselves, and so they can't get discredited when people start asking stuff about this. I understand, like when a person just comes near, like is around you, just assumes something. It doesn't make it true. Okay, it doesn't. There's like many different uses for these things, and a lot of people just try to look at the negative. No, there are two sides to all of this, okay? It is because someone's wearing it does not mean that they have something. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they could be just taking precaution to prevent themselves from catching said thing. Now, but if you want to know the darker side of this, here's the case. And from what I've noticed, if you paid attention to my older videos and you started to notice that they're starting to take away the facial masks and stuff like that out of the stores, they're doing this so people will breathe in the vape trails that they're putting out in the skies. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. The other thing, they have the virus itself. It's a hoax, and they're just basically having their perps spread this stuff around on the surface. And people don't even know that with the products that they're using, the daily healthcare products, that's causing their infections to increase day by day. They don't know this. They don't know that any of this stuff is just increasing it, and they don't want them to know. They want people to continue to poison themselves to basically fulfill that stupid agenda of which they are trying to get. I'm gonna leave a link to the Homeless King's James channel. I just need to get permission for me to share the video first. And what you're gonna see in that video is that it's a very intelligent man. It's unfortunate about this situation, but I'm not even surprised that they would beat us down in positions of homelessness like this. I'm not even at all surprised, because this is just what they do. They do anything and everything to suppress information to prevent people from actually revolting in a legal manner, to end this, to end the torture, to end the corruption, to literally flip the situation back into our favor, to where we can have it to where this isn't going on anymore. Okay, with that out of the way, let me go ahead and get started with the article here. A surgical mask, also known as a procedure mask, medical mask, or simply as a face mask, is intended to be worn by health professionals during surgery and during nursing to catch the bacteria shed in liquid droplets and arousals from the wearer's mouth and nose. Now, before I go any farther, how many people have you actually seen? And yes, there have been a lot of people doing this. There have been a lot of people coughing. There have been a lot of people sneezing without even covering their mouths. Okay? So that's one thing right there. So, with that out of the way, let's see, where did I leave off at? They are not designed to protect the wearer from inhaling airborne bacteria or viruses particles. They are not designed to protect, excuse me. But it's like early in the morning. They are not designed to protect the wearer from inhaling airborne bacteria or virus particles, and are less effective than respirators, such as N95 or FFP, masks which provide better protection due to their material, shape, and tight seal. Surgical masks are properly worn by general public all year round in East Asia, countries like China, Japan, and South Korea, to reduce the chance of spreading airborne diseases and to prevent the breathing in of airborne dust particles created by air pollution. And that's my excuse right there. First off, outside in that air, there's a lot of pollution in that. So that's why I wear. That's why I wear that mask. But since the virus is out there, as they like to call it, that's why I wear the gloves. I don't touch the surface with my bare hands. I touch it while wearing a glove. Become a fashion statement, in particular in contemporary Eastern Asia culture, bolstered by its popularity in Japanese and Korean pop culture, which have a big impact on East Asia youth culture. More recently, due to rising issue of smog in South and Southeast Asia, surgical masks and air filter face masks are now frequently used in major cities in India, Nepal, and Thailand. when air quality deteriorates to toxic levels. Additionally, face masks are used in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore during the Southeast Asia haze season. Air filtering surgical style masks are quite popular across Asia, and as a result, many companies have released masks that not only prevent the breathing in of airborne dust particles, but are also fashionable. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of, and this is basically my statement, there's a lot of toxins in the air, and this is not a lie, this is true. These toxins are coming, if not the chemtrails and the vape trails, it's coming from the emissions from vehicles. And how many vehicles do we have all year round? Yeah, a lot. So it's not wrong for me to wear a mask outside to protect myself from this, okay? It's not wrong for anybody to do this. And the reason why I'm doing this video now is to educate people about the situation, because they apparently they like to discredit you on this. They really do. But here's the thing. The person doesn't know you, so there's an even margin here. First off, if a person is trying to accuse you of something, they don't know you, for one. They don't know if you have anything, and they don't even know if you do have anything. So first off, they can't make that assumption because they're not a doctor. They're not a medical physician. They can't make that judgment call. I mean, they can protect themselves, yes, but they can't make a judgment call like that because they're not a they're not a licensed medical physician. So for them to try to make a judgment call on that is completely absurd. And I'm making this video right now as my own statement, as defense for people to still be able to protect themselves from these assholes who would like to try to discredit you, basically. So understand that just because they act a certain type of way does not mean that their view is true. No. They can come up with any stupid story they want. They can try to say anything that they want, but they're not a licensed medical physician. They're not a doctor. They're not a nurse. They haven't done testing on the person who they are trying to, convince others that maybe this person may have something or whatever. They're not licensed, so they can't make a judgment call like that because they won't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They won't even know. So just keep that in mind, and understand that basically a lot of the stuff that's being taken up, and I'm gonna say it again, they're doing this so people will get infected with this shit. Okay, that's the downright truth of this. And I'm using my freedom of speech to state this fact. And what's worse is that our neighbors, possibly our family members, are in on this. Anyway, this is MM. I'm over and out.